a very beautiful morning to you. This is GbaramatuVoiceTV, reaching you from the Niger Delta Media Centre. Yes, this is the 27th day of January 2025, and you know, today is another episode of Beyond the Headlines, where we give you insight and in-depth analysis of stories from our various Nigerian newspaper and stories regarding the Niger Delta region. Bestolo is my name, and I have my co-host with me in the studio this morning.
My name is Karnade. You're looking so stunning this morning.
And you too.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be reviewing the Guardian newspaper. And firstly, the major headline: 7 banks raise 1.3 trillion naira as others shun public offers overrule cost. That can be found in page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Flood displaced over 2 million pupils in Nigeria last year. That can be found in page 29. 4 killed, many injured in Niger mining site explosion. That can be found in page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. Crude importation vessel crisis may keep PMS price high. That can be found in page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Anxiety in Lagos Assembly ahead of Obasa's resumption. That can be found in page 7. Enugu tanker accident. Tears as relatives besiege hospitals. Search for victims. That can be found in page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Lastly, 4 banks risk USSD disconnection today as SERAP sues FG NCC over traffic hike. That can be found in page 6 of the Guardian newspaper.
Yes, you've just heard from my colleague on the Guardian newspaper. Quickly, I will be reviewing stories from the Daily Trust newspaper. First, with the lead story. Boko Haram kills 22 soldiers, many CJTF. We neutralized over 70 terrorists, says military. How 20 perished in Enugu tanker fire. Yes, $6 billion Mambila project. Federal government Sunrise Power awaits Paris court verdict. Why Sharia panels are generating controversy in Southwest. 3 killed, many injured as explosion rocks Niger mining site. Zenith raises 350 billion naira in rights issue public officer. USSD. Small business owners cry out ahead disconnection. Lastly, lawmakers demand 480 million naira from varsities to approve 2025 budgets. Yes, and that is all we have on Daily Trust newspaper.
Quickly, I'll be reviewing the Vanguard newspaper. FX spending on foreign education helped defy Naira depreciation. That can be found in page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. Zenith Bank rises over 350 billion naira in rights issue public offer. That can be found in page 20 of the Vanguard newspaper. Lagos Assembly crisis. GAC members divided over Obasa's impeachment. That can be found in page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu, Bauchi government, foreign ministers bicker. That can be found in page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Sports, World Cup fever, ex-Intel's express fears. That can also be found in page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Army commander, 21 soldiers killed in Borno terrorist attack. That can be found on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Brazil slams U.S. after dozens of deportees arrive handcuffed. That can be found in page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. 25 dead as explosion hits mining sites in Niger State. That can be found in page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper. And that is all for the Vanguard newspaper.
Yes, quickly, I will talking on the Punch newspaper. Marketers may dump a Dangote fuel as imported petrol costs 922 naira per litre. Imported PMS landing costs now cheaper than Dangote's price as dealers import 76.84 million litres in 2 days. Moving forward, Obasa Assembly tightens security as police promise peaceful plenary today. Tinubu GAC may meet on ex-speaker this week. Yes, you can find that on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. 22 soldiers, 70 terrorists killed in Borno military operation. Yes, you can find that details on page 18 of the Punch newspaper. India shows a military might at Republic Day parade. Yes, more of that details on page 6 of the Punch and newspaper. Zenith Bank raises 350 billion naira from rights issue public offer. Yes, you would get more of these details on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. 1.3 billion naira fraud. Police to arraign Obanikoro's son. Orders February 27. Yes, you would get more details of that story on page 9 of the Punch newspaper. And lastly, Aragbeshola's group quits APC, cites a member's explosion and suspension. Yes, you're going to get more of that details on page 18 of the Punch newspaper. And that is all we have for the Punch newspaper.
Quickly, I'll be reviewing this day newspaper. Proof of brand strength. Zenith Bank raises over 350 billion naira through combined offer. That can be found on page 5 of this day newspaper. Wale Tinubu, Owando has over 1 billion barrels of oil reserve. That can be found in page 55 of this day's newspaper. Buhari, this day is a national momentum institution. Jonathan, it is a leading voice in Nigerian journalism. That can be found in page 5 of this day newspaper. DHQ, we lost 22 soldiers, killed over 70 terrorists in deadly Borno clash. That can be found in page 5 also of this day's newspaper. Buhari, I fared now as ex-president from renting out one of my houses in Kaduna. That can be found in page 10 of this day newspaper. And that's all we have for this day newspaper.
Yes, quickly, I'll be talking on, the New Telegraph newspaper. Nigeria's mounting debt profile hampering economic stability. Lawyers, said by lawyers. Yes, you can find that on page 14 and 16 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Federal government's revenue collection cost rises by 77.6% to 989.31 billion naira. Yes, you can find that on page 4 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Recapitalization. Zenith Bank raises over 350 billion naira via rights issue, public offer rather. Yes, you can get that on page 8 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Tinubu to traffic agencies, curb fuel tanker explosions. Condoles with Enugu on latest disaster. Yes, you can get that story on page 2, 5, and 7 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Yes, DHQ. Troops kill 17 terrorists in Northeast. Clearance operation. Regrets killing in action of 22 soldiers. Yes, you can get that details on page 4 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Yes, moving forward. Legislators have failed their constituents, said by Tafawa Balewa. Yes, you can get more of these details on page 2 of the New Telegraph newspaper. And lastly, by 2030, Nigeria will experience 3 times current brain disorders burden, said by neurologists. Yes, more of these details on page 2 of the New Telegraph newspaper. And that is all I have for you on the New Telegraph newspaper.
We'll be reviewing the last newspaper, which is the Nation newspaper. Security beefed up in Lagos Assembly. That can be found in page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Zenith Bank rises 350.4 billion naira through rights issues public offer. That can be found in page 14. Kogi, born prince who breeds philanthropy. Asiwaju Prince Olatunji. That can be found in page 12 of the Nation newspaper. Wike, Bala Muhammad clash over protracted PDP crisis. That can be found in page 4 of the Nation newspaper. DHQ, troops kill 3 terrorist commanders, 67 others in Borno, 22 casualties recorded. That can be found in page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Lastly, Enugu tanker explosion, victims' family besiege hospital. That can be found in page 6 of the Nation newspaper. I still have one more. Edo Road contracts gets ultimatum. That can be found in page 7 of the Nation newspaper. And that's all we have for the Nation newspaper.
Yes, quickly, that's all we have for all the stories on our Nigerian newspaper. Quickly, let's go on this short break, and when we come back, we'll be giving you more details. Do not forget to call the number on your screen if you want to be a part of this conversation, and also follow us on all our social media platforms to ship in your contributions and comments. Follow us on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube at GbaramatuVoice. And if you want more detailed story, visit our website www.gbaramatuvoicenews.com. Welcome back from that short break. Yes, like I said, if you want to be a part of this conversation, make sure to call the number displayed on your screen, and we'll want to see your comments and contributions. It will go a long way. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Yes, quickly, let's get down to the business of today.
Okay, so I'll be reviewing the Daily Trust newspaper with the major headline. Boko Haram kills 22 soldiers, many CJTF. We neutralized over 70 terrorists, military. So a tragic encounter with the Boko Haram insurgents at Yobe, Borno border. You know, it led to the death of 22 Nigerian soldiers and several members of the civilian joint task force. That's the CJTF. And you know, this clash occurred after troops reclaimed a major insurgent camp in Mardi Saleh. While the military confirmed 22 casualties, some sources claim the number is even higher than what they had confirmed. So, also, despite the losses, the military had already neutralized over 70 insurgents, including the key commanders. And the terrorists used advanced tactics, they said, like suicide bombers, rockets, grenades, and drones to intensify their attack. So that attack was like a mass attack. So they came prepared. You know, the Boko Haram has been a terrorist group for years now, and we've been battling with, you know, the Boko Haram for a whole lot of years now. But they came more prepared this time around because they even launched drones for their attack, meaning they are well equipped this time around. And it led to about 22 casualties. While reading our newspaper headline, you know, from Vanguard to Punch, everybody laid much emphasis on casualties. For the Vanguard, they said, okay, 21 soldiers were killed. For the Daily Trust, 22 were recorded. For this day, 22 soldiers too were killed. Although we were made to understand that there were even more casualties which were recorded because they launched the attack mainly on the civilian joint task force. So it's a tragic.
There will be so many that will be wounded.
Yes, a lot of casualties too were recorded during this terrorist attack. And I was also made to understand that meanwhile, it increased military pressure in Chad and also in Niger. They focused deeper into Yobe and Borno state because it has started escalating to different regions in the north. So what more do you have to chip into this?
In fact, this is a very, very sad situation, I must say, because if you should see what our military personnel has actually put into this fight, I don't think they deserve such deaths.
Yeah.
So, in fact, what I would just chip in, I believe there should be, and for us to at least avoid these casualties moving forward. I know it's, yes, some will definitely lose their life in the middle of this operation, but at least to reduce such occurrence, there should be an enhanced intelligence gathering.
Yes.
Now, when I mean this, in fact, things should be put in place so that people can detect, our military personnel will be able to detect any form of ambushment.
Okay.
Yes, there are things you can put in place. There are those intelligence things you can put in place to prevent ambush and surprise attacks from these people. Because, you know, most times when they tend to carry their operations, Boko Haram, they tend to put themselves in different places that you won't even have an idea, oh, they're hiding here, they're hiding here.
Yeah.
So I think they should put this in place, intelligence gathering, so that they will be able to sense any form of ambush by these people or any surprise attack from these people.
Okay, but I mean, this attack has been going on since January 16th, and this is January 27th. So it's not something that has been there. It's not something that just happened today or just happened yesterday. It has been since January 16th. And it's also, we're made to understand that it's also cutting across Yobe. Now, the military are trying to like tighten their grounds and tighten their stand because it's escalating. It's something that is beyond control currently. You get me? So I will agree with you if you say, yes, they should strengthen and enhance, you know, their intelligence gathering. That
Now,
would be
even
a plus.
you made mention of something when you said the Boko Haram Some of them, they made use of devices like drones and all of that. I think these are what our military personnel should use.
Yes.
Instead, so it's not like they are, in every sense, in equipment, they're already overshadowing our military personnel, of which it's not supposed to be like that. These advanced equipment should, in fact, this is what we should employ. Making use of drones and these aircraft to monitor whatever that is going on. I think it will go a long way as well. Okay. And then they should be equipped with good quality equipment. Yes, it will help them. And then they should give them more advanced training.
Yes.
Yeah, some of them, they are actually not trained. They are not given kudos. Well, I see whenever they are trained, when they are having their training section, I'm always very marveled. But then I think some of them as well, they need, in fact, intense training to be able to stand up whatsoever thing they face. At least to some extent, with some of the training they must have gotten, at least they can defend themselves from any form of attack. Yes, I think.
Okay. That'll be all for the Daily Trust newspaper.
Okay. Yes, quickly. I will be reviewing. Sorry. Yes, quickly, I'll be reviewing the Punch newspaper. Marketers may dump Dangote fuel as imported petrol cost 922 naira per litre. Yes, imported PMS landing costs now cheaper than Dangote's price as dealers import 76.84 million litres in 2 days. Now, this story, let me just bring out some insights before I go into full details. Now, petroleum marketers regarding the pricing of petrol from the Dangote refinery. Marketers fear that the refinery's petrol may be priced higher than imported alternatives, primarily because the refinery has been importing crude oil from the United States and other countries at elevated cost due to challenges in securing local fields. Now, marketers are actually clamoring about the high cost of petrol, the high cost of PMS Dangote is actually giving them. Now, they feel, I think it was from over 800 and something, and it has now gotten to 900 and what the news is saying right now, it's saying 922 per litre. So I think marketers are actually not cool with this price, and they feel Dangote is putting an hike. Yes, obviously, because of the due to the high cost of imported crude oil, obviously that is what is affecting the cost of production. But they feel they can obviously probably get a better price if they import themselves directly rather than going through the Dangote refinery and all of that. But now, I think it's actually going to cause the possible outcome of this. Now, market dynamics. If Dangote's petrol is priced higher than imported variants, marketers might prefer importing fuel to maximize profits. Yes. Now, but this thing will obviously lead to increased importation activities, which will definitely affect our refinery market shares. Now, if marketers feels that Dangote is actually putting a hike on its products, they will obviously want to import themselves. And now, if there are so many imports from these marketers, it will increase importations activity, and it will affect our refinery market shares. Now, quickly, obviously, due to the high cost of crude oil being imported by refinery Dangote refinery, it will obviously cause high cost. It will bring about high cost of production. Yes. Thereby, it will now affect we consumers. Yes, because everything now is now coming upon us. So if Dangote is obviously buying from on a high cost from these countries, it will be telling on us consumers. So now I feel to some extent a preference for
the disadvantage this thing is causing now, a preference for imported petrol due to cost consideration could expose the market to international price fluctuations, leading to instability in local pump prices. Now, due to this, everybody wants to import. They want to import fuel. They want to import fuel. Obviously, our local price cannot be stable.
Yes, it can.
Because dollar is high, dollar is coming down, and all of that. So our local price, there is no way we as consumers can expect stable local price of fuel. It is not possible because of the excess of importations activity. So our local price cannot be stable. That's one of you want to say something?
Yes. I strongly believe that Dangote and other local refineries, they need to like find ways to produce for more cheaply. So we, the consumers, can be able to get it at a more affordable price. Because now, the imported fuel, it's now cheaper than our refineries that are in our nation. So I believe that this, Dangote and other local refineries too, they need to find ways to like produce fuel more cheaply and efficiently to also stay a bit competitive. You understand me? And also the government can also like set policies that limit or discourage excessive petroleum imports while still meeting demand. They can set a whole lot of policies for that too. But I believe our refinery here should be cheaper than us importing, and we're getting the imported ones which are being refined cheaper than our refineries that are built in here. That is something they should look into critically. I believe so.
Lastly, before I impute one more point, if you want to be a part of this conversation, if you want to ship in your comments, your contributions, you can just call on the number displayed on your screen. Your comments, your contributions will go a long way. Yes, lastly, I feel we should facilitate our local crude oil supply.
Yes.
Instead of importing, governments and other stakeholders, they can come together to join forces with Dangote Refinery so that we can have more of our crude oil. They should collaborate so that we can have more of and produce more of crude oil here in Nigeria instead of importing, because it will obviously not help us. It won't help us at all. So if the government can collaborate with other bodies, with other stakeholders, yes, I think it will help a long way. And the price of petrol can be stable at to some extent, yes, because obviously importing crude oil, the price cannot be stable, like I said earlier. So if we can actually collaborate to make sure we have more of crude oil here in Nigeria, a local,
yes,
it will help.
And let's not also forget the fact that most of our refineries are not even functioning. That also serves as another disadvantage. As another disadvantage, I must say, there was a point whereby we were importing our crude oil. We'll produce our crude oil, take it over there to refine, then buy it at an outrageous rate
Price,
and come back to sell. So let's even leave Dangote Refinery aside. What about our state refineries? Even here currently
the Warri refinery is now
currently in Delta State, the refineries are not even functioning as it should. You understand? So also,
but it wasn't even functioning before, but I think now it's now functioning. But probably they should put more effort.
More efforts.
Because in fact, we have so many oil producing states now. So if you actually want to think about it,
even
we have
in Edo State,
yes,
we have in Akwa Ibom, we have a lot of oil.
We have so many oil producing states
in the south.
So in fact, we should learn how to make use of our products, because we have so many. It's not like it's just one state that is actually producing oil. We are rich, so it's just the way we make use of our product. That's obviously what's going to help us. In fact, we have over 7 states. Yes, 7 oil producing states. So we just have to help ourselves. Government should put hands in this. other stakeholders as well involved. They should collaborate so that our refinery, we can get crude oil here instead of importing. Yes, I think that's all we have for today. Any story regarding the Niger Delta region?
Okay, yes, we have a story regarding the Niger Delta region from Delta State. Novena University honors Sheriff Warri with a doctorate degree.
Wow.
The Delta State governor, that's right, Sheriff Warri, has been awarded an honoring Doctor of Science in Public Policy and Strategy by Novena University, which took place on Saturday during in the institution the 5th combined convocation ceremony happened, and it was graced by our right honorable Sheriff Warri. That's the 5th convocation ceremony they'll be having in Novena State in Novena University, which was graced by Sheriff Warri, Right Honorable Sheriff Warri. That was indeed a very good ceremony that happened in Delta State, Novena University, and also a whole lot of people had their convocation ceremony on that day, which was on Saturday. And our very own Peace Monday, a political science student, which graduated from Novena University, also joined the convocation ceremony. She has an eye for storytelling through the lens. Peace joined our organization, Baramatu Voice, with a passion and hasn't looked back since then. In a remarkably short time, she has honored her skills and is fast becoming one of the leading female photojournalists in Baramatu Voice, and which graduated from political science, but also has a flair for photojournalism. Kudos to Miss Peace Monday.
In fact, what is this talking about? What is this telling us? In fact, as young people, we should try to be innovative.
Yes.
We should try to think outside the box. Now you feel, oh, I'm a graduate of, let me make use of this. I'm a graduate of mass communication. Please, I can't do this. I don't
know what to do.
I can't work here.
You can work anywhere. As a mass communication student. You can work anywhere. You just have to find your skill.
Exactly.
I think mass communication is a skillful course that needs to even be looked into in university. People just believe that, oh, if I'm a mass communication student, I have to go to broadcast, I have to go to radio, I have to start talking on TV. You can do a whole bunch of things as a mass communication
just
student.
Be innovative. Just think outside the box. Now, citing Miss Peace Monday, she's actually a political science student. But now she is skilled at photojournalism. She tells a story through pictures, through the lens. That's a very beautiful one. Yes. So if you think, as a young person, you think you cannot do this, you think you cannot go beyond your limits, in fact, you're playing with yourself.
Yes.
Like our boss will always say, always try to make yourself useful. Wherever you find yourself, always try to be useful. Strive to want to work hard. Strive to want to learn something new every day.
Yes.
Don't just be the type to sit, look, and watch other people doing it, making it. Always strive to want to learn new things. And then, in fact, you will discover that, you will discover new things in you. Yes. You'll be surprised that
I can do this. Because when Miss Peace joined our organization, she wasn't even handling the camera yet. But when she started, she put in all her efforts, even into graphics designing. Wow. She was there too. And also, I believe that a lot of things, don't be discouraged for those who are still in the university. Don't be discouraged, because there are a lot of things mass communication can bring out for you. You can go into graphics designing. You can go into journalism. There are different aspects of journalism. You can go into photo editing, videography, cinematography. There are a lot of things. Mass communication is a skillful job. Or what would I say? Mass communication has to do with skills. Your hands need to be working anytime it comes to
If
mass
you're the lazy
communication.
type.
you can't
In fact,
study
you can't
mass
make
com.
it.
There are a lot of things. Just find your niche. Find what works for you in mass communication. If you are ready to work, you are ready to make the money. That's just it.
Yes, quickly, I just want to this one now, it's a local news actually. This was what happened in Igudu market. Yes, two ladies were caught. They were caught always taking pregnant girls, young girls that are pregnant, when they put them in a place, they put the girls in a place, and then when they finish giving birth, they carry the child to probably go and sell. So this
That's
thing
like
was
human
like a
trafficking.
yes, this thing was it's even local. Like I'm even surprised. I never knew something like this is
Will be
happening
ongoing in the Gudu
within
market.
us.
Within us.
So in fact, when I saw the story, and then that was how this thing kept. It was a continuous thing. They kept doing it. In fact,
Until
it
they
was the
got
last
caught.
suspect. They put. In fact, the girl just find her way, and she ran away from them. And then
Okay.
she reported to the police. That was how people came about them, and they caught them. Now they are detained in the police station. But I'm actually very happy that, in fact, and they've been caught. Because if they were not caught, this thing would have
Will still
continued.
be going on and on and on and on. This is such a very sad news. Such a very sad news. Human trafficking happening here in Delta State. Igbudu market.
Even
So imagine
within
they were not even caught.
This is what would have continued. And obviously, innocent children would have in fact, it's such a sad one. It's such a sad one. I think those of you perpetrators of this thing, you should desist from it, because if you're obviously being caught, you're going to face the law.
Face the
There
law.
are other ways, there are other means we could earn a living,
Yes.
rather than doing all these inhumane activities. You can in fact, there are so many people I see in the markets. They sell different things just to make a living, just to feed. You can as well start from there, and before you know it, God might send someone to help you. Someone somewhere just keeps watching you. This girl is actually struggling.
You don't know who
is watching.
Yes. You don't know who might be watching.
So in fact, you just keep on doing what you're doing, and one day your story, you're going to be telling a different story, rather than doing all these inhumane activities and all of that. But I thank God they were brought to justice. Now we don't know their what they are going to face, but obviously they are detained in the police station.
Okay, lastly on the Niger Delta story, concerning the viral video that has been ongoing all through the weekend about the police officers, 2 police officers who were masked
Yes,
and
I
came
saw that.
into a house to search and do all sorts of. And I know this video has been ongoing. It has been on X, on Facebook, on Instagram. A lot of blogs too have
Yes,
been posting the
it.
video. So the bone of contention about that video is the police officers being masked. They are the forefront when it comes to authority. That's the largest red flag.
But
because
I don't think it's legal. How
why
would a
would a
policeman?
police officer be masked? These days people even take their uniform. Just like another story I came across about a retired police officer that was still on the way collecting bribes. So people get their uniform and act as police officers. So imagine having a police officer being masked and telling you to open your gate.
Obviously, if it's me, I will not open now. I won't open.
It is the biggest red flag that needs to be cited, because
Even if
can't
you are
even come
with
to
a
my
search
house.
warrant, I would not open for you, because I don't know.
Why is your face covered?
Exactly. I think that's illegal.
Because even armed robbers, when they even want to rob, that they cover their
Yes,
face.
they cover their face.
So less of someone high in authority, someone the police officers are made to protect the citizens. So why is your face covered? So we could see the trending video of they had already cracked their guns.
Yes,
and,
they shot.
The air, and the boys kept on going
And
back.
I saw one of the
house.
officer was already climbing through the fence.
Yes, climbing through
In
the fence,
fact,
masked. It's something. I'm glad. The PRO officer for Delta State,
has actually
Mr.
looked into
Edafe
this.
Bright, has seen the video, and he has said one or two things about the video, even though we were also seeking for accountability from whatever. He's the PRO officer for Delta State.
Those officers should be looked into critically.
Yes, I'm glad they've even seen the video, and investigation is now ongoing, because there's no way a police officer can come to my house masked. Even if you have a search warrant,
won't open for you.
There is no way you are supposed to come to my house being masked. But I'm glad there's already an investigation ongoing. So that's all for the Niger Delta stories today. Thanks for staying with us. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you for joining us on Beyond the Headlines. We're always thrilled to have you in our community. If you're looking to elevate your business, your brand, or service, consider partnering with us. We offer sponsorship and advertising opportunities to connect with your audience and with our incredible audience too. For more details, reach out to us via our contact info on the screen. Lastly, I'm so sorry, we have to come back to the to Beyond the Headlines again. Lastly, we're going to give a shout out, happy marriage anniversary to High Chief Kestin Pondi and his lovely wife, Ms. High Chief Chief Blessing Pondi. Also, happy anniversary
18, I think.
18 years anniversary.
That's a very
Still
good one.
strong and going. Happy anniversary to High Chief Kestin Pondi and his lovely and
In fact,
beautiful
this is what we love
wife.
to see.
This is what we love to see. Togetherness. This is what we love to see. A big shout out from Gbaramatu Voice to you and your lovely family. Happy anniversary once more. Okay, thanks for staying with us and joining us on Beyond the Headlines. We're thrilled to have you in our community. If you're looking to elevate your business, your brand, or your service, consider partnering with us, because we offer sponsorship and advertising opportunities to connect your message with our incredible audience. For more details, you can reach us via our contact info on the screen, or follow us on all our social media platforms on X, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Follow us on GbaramatuVoiceTV. And also don't forget to visit us on our website, www.gbaramatuvoicenews.com. Thank you for staying with us. I remain your host, Karinade Doyenga, and with me in the studio,
Best to low.
thank you.